Here's everything we rode and saw at Universal Epic Universe. The first thing all guests see and must pass through is the Epic Universe Chronos Tower before entering Celestial Park. Just as the name suggests, Celestial Park is themed to the sun, moon, and stars. It's filled with beautiful fountains and has tons of heavenly theming. We saw moving statues and stationary statues like this one in front of the Grand Helios Hotel. The best ride, but also the only ride we went on in Celestial Park, was Stardust Racers. This ride is a dueling coaster, in this case a racing coaster. The idea is that you get to board one of two comets and race through the stars. This was both of our first times on a dueling coaster. It was pretty intense, but we've both been on Velocicoaster before. This one was just different. This one's more exposed and you get a lot more airtime, and there's this amazing barrel roll in it. We loved it so much that we rode it 4 times over the 2 days, twice in the daytime and twice after dark. If you only have time to ride it once, I would say try to ride it at night. That's when it feels most like riding a comet. Our first portal was the Isle of Berk. This is the place to be if you're looking to see some dragons. Walking through the portal tunnel, there's animated screens that really make it feel like you're being magically transported. Our very important first stop was at the Toothless meet and greet.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Oh, you got a little toothless on your head there.
I do.
I think if he ever tried to do that with me, I would be crushed under his weight. Although he has jumped on me once or twice, held me over the ledge one time, he likes to mess with me as much as possible. Okay, sorry about the fish break though. You never get used to that. Slow approach, and just above his noggin. There you go. Yeah, you're a natural with him. Are you sure we don't have dragons at home? Okay. Right on top of that big dragon it is, yeah.
Meeting Toothless was definitely a highlight. Even though the wait was pretty long for a character interaction, we didn't feel rushed by the team members at all, and both of us got to take turns meeting Toothless.
Toothless!
Then we went to see the Untrainable Dragon, one of 2 available shows in Epic Universe. The show features a good mix of screens, practical sets, puppets, and of course, actual flying dragons. We thought the show was super cute. We loved being able to cool down, and we loved seeing flying Toothless.
Sheep are so funny.
And all of the dragons are surrounded by this super cute berk-themed architecture. Next, we went on Hiccup's Wing Gliders. This is meant to be more of a family-friendly coaster, but it still turned out to be pretty thrilling. This ride was super fun, and we enjoyed all of the surprises that were in it. I won't spoil it for you. We also rode Fire Drill, the land's interactive water ride. The idea is that you're training to help put out dragon fires. Each rider gets their own water gun, which they use to shoot physical targets in order to get a score to beat the other team. But be warned, not only do some of the targets literally dump out water, but overall you're likely to get very, very wet. Second portal was Dark Universe, Epic Universe's spookiest area. Dark Universe has a gothic horror theming to it. I'm not a huge horror person, so that's the best way I could describe it. Even though I'm not a fan of horror, I will say this land houses my favorite attraction in all of Epic Universe. This is Monsters Unchained. This ride takes place in Frankenstein Manor, which only looks more incredible at night. The queue takes guests through Frankenstein Manor and through a series of rooms where you get to see lots of incredibly detailed displays and props.
Look at the eyes. The eyes.
Right before the pre-show, you get a nice view from the top of the Manor's atrium. The pre-show is split up into two parts. The first part is with Igor, and the second part is with Victoria Frankenstein herself.
I agree, you delightful freak. Sadly, this is not that kind of experiment. Look
The
closely.
pre-show gets you pretty excited for the ride because here you're already being treated to two amazing animatronics, Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. Of course, I don't have any on-ride footage, but believe me when I say this ride is next level when it comes to animatronics. It's what you see here times 10. And yes, we also rode this one 4 times. There's only one other ride in Dark Universe, and that's Curse of the Werewolf. This is an outdoor spinning coaster. Guests are traveling with this caravan with the Curse of the Werewolf looming over their heads. So of course one might expect to see a werewolf or two. Overall, we enjoyed this ride. I wouldn't wait super long for it, but we had some good laughs and screams on it. I just wish there was a bit more story and a bit more theming to it. Next up, we were off to the Mushroom Kingdom via the Super Nintendo World Portal. There's only one way to get to the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's via Warp Pipe. Also, this Warp Pipe happens to have an escalator. The Warp Pipe drops you off inside Peach's castle, which is a pretty great replica of the one from the Nintendo 64 game. Once you exit the castle, you're on the second level of Super Nintendo World looking out into this beautiful, colorful land, and you really feel like you're inside the game. Since the walls are higher here than in the other lands, this one feels extra immersive. Retail locations are super decked out in Super Mario World theming, and this one feels like a toy factory. I'm not really going to cover merch in this video, but I will include it as part of my overall trip vlog. We decided to skip Mario Kart this time because we'd already been on it in the other two parks, but we weren't skipping Yoshi's Adventure. This is a super sweet people mover attraction where guests get to ride inside a colorful Yoshi and help Captain Toad look for some eggs, including the golden egg.
The very Captain Toad treasure tracker.
This ride is also perfect for getting a scenic tour of Super Nintendo World.
Larson! Oh! So cute! The singing of the Yoshis is so cute.
Despite what some other people might say about it, I think Yoshi's Adventure is super adorable. Like the rest of the land, it's super colorful and there's lots of things to see, like baby Mario riding Yoshi. Also, I think half the time the audio is some Yoshi singing.
So cute. Are a whole mood. My favorite. It's the Toad Treasure Tracker music. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Next to Super Mario World is its neighbor, Donkey Kong Country. I'm realizing right now that Donkey Kong Country is the only area that has its own portal from within another land. I mean, that's pretty bananas, right? There's only one ride in this land, and it's Minecart Madness. This is a minecart themed coaster that jumps the track just like in the Donkey Kong games. In the ride queue, you see lots of bananas, barrels, and coconuts before you enter the Golden Temple to help Donkey Kong protect the Golden Banana.
Good for nothing dumb-drums have broken into the Golden Temple. Keep your feathers on, Squawks.
Pretty successful in helping Donkey Kong out on this ride. We like that we were able to get launched via barrel like Donkey Kong in the games. Back out in Celestial Park, there's a Nintendo store aptly named the Nintendo Superstar Store. I think it might be the prettiest Nintendo store ever with all of its glass-stained character windows.
Oh my god, Toad!
Last but not least, we went through our 5th portal to the Ministry of Magic in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. This portal transports you right into 1920s Paris. And since we're in Paris, the main mode of transportation here is metro, or walking. Again, like Super Nintendo World, I think this land's walls and buildings are built extra high, making it extra immersive. I mean, these structures are really huge. And as someone who's been to Paris a couple times, I think the architecture feels pretty accurate. And here's the interior of the Café L'air de la Sirène, where they serve that famous butterbeer crepe. There's really no shortage of things to see here, including magical creatures like the Niffler. Well, there's only one attraction here in the Ministry of Magic, and it's Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. And if you're attuned to all of the recent buzz about this attraction, then you already know that it is quite the battle to get a virtual queue to ride. Luckily, we were able to get a return time for the evening, and there was basically no wait for us once we got past this point here. The first part of the queue is waiting for your turn to go through the Metro Flue, just like they do in the movies. The flue effect is realistic and well done. Once you're through the flue, you're right in the middle of the Ministry of Magic. I've done the Harry Potter Warner Brothers tour in Tokyo, but it did not prepare me for how incredible this was. You're allowed to hang out here for a bit if you want to take pictures or take in the sights before entering the rest of the queue. rest of the queue takes place in a series of smaller rooms, slowly telling you the story of the attraction, about the trial of Dolores Umbridge. And you know, we're just here to spectate in the courtroom where it happens.
She did no such thing under my watch. She was an efficient administrator when I was in charge.
Vacuum.
Dangerous remaining out there.
Unknown being captured was a bit of a shock, I will say that.
Breaking into
Oh, it's all her stuff. Pink.
Some just don't want to listen. Antiquity's brain, Minister Kingsley Shacklebolt, has informed him.
Before we knew it, we were being led to our courtroom seats. Battle at the Ministry is a top attraction for us, just behind Monsters Unchained. The screens in this ride were so big and 3D without the use of glasses. And some of the animatronics were so realistic, my husband thought that they were actors. I know right now it's super challenging to get on this ride, but I'd say don't skip it if you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's worth riding, Potter fan or not. Epic Universe is so beautiful by daylight, but it's got a really cool vibe at nighttime too. We went back to the streets of Paris at the Ministry of Magic to check out some of the magical creatures in the windows. It was a lot quieter over here at nighttime. This is right before closing. First we saw a moon calf. It has really big blue eyes that stare into your soul, but then you remember that it's actually blind. There's also this bow truckle trying to pick a lock. Here's my favorite magical creature, Nifflers, casually hanging out in a chandelier. We found some more bow truckles in a tree. And another big Niffler. They look like they're in the middle of a heist or something. Here's what the rest of the park looks like as you're exiting at nighttime. The Dark Universe portal is extra spooky at night, but it perfectly frames the dancing fountains. The fountains dancing to music seems to happen several times a day, but it's only at night that it's got this cool lighting effect. Of course, the other portals also look stunning when they're lit up. Leaving Epic Universe is extra hard when your path to the exit is lined with all of these luminous sights. I think the Chronos Tower is my favorite portal out of the 5, but probably because it includes all of the other lands in it. It really does make you feel like you've just had some big adventure. Which portal is your favorite, and which ride are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you had fun, don't forget to like and subscribe.